Hey guys, it's Saturday, a little chilly outside. I think it's not even 60 degrees yet. It was like 50 degrees this morning when I got up. I am soaked, I'm sweated, very sweated. Did hot yoga, that's what I was gonna say. And it was the fierce class, so that's the one that gets like 105, 110 degrees, so it's a little hot in there. Anyways, I was just thinking, this was actually in Savasana at the end of our class, about people who put the time, work, effort, and energy into something, and their value, what they're worth based upon that. Because especially when you're young or you haven't started learning about something, you may not understand. Like, for instance, I'm a real estate broker, was a real estate agent first, went through all of that, and sometimes people are like, oh, real estate agents charge so much, blah blah blah. But what they're not seeing is all of the education, the training, the experience, the things that we've learned over time that you are getting and paying for. So yes, there will be a difference from someone who's maybe brand new and doesn't have the experience. Granted, they may have more time and be able to do a little more research, be able to do a little more hand-holding with you, whatever, but they're not going to have that experience. You don't have the experience till you have the time and transactions behind you. And not just time, it's how many transactions. Like, if I've had my license for 30 years and I do a transaction a year, I don't have the experience as someone who's had their license for 3 years and has done 100 transactions each year. So there's a difference. But it just made me think, watching this yoga instructor, and she's really good. She's one of my favorite ones. And knowing she's mastered this skill, and she's still practicing. I'm sure she doesn't even consider herself a master. She's always learning and growing and practicing. But where she is, and you don't see, and I learned this because I have recently started taking my 200-hour yoga instructor training also. But you don't see the education, the studying, the practicing, the hard work. Because it's funny, because some of my friends, they joke at me because I love yoga so much, and they're like, they do the lifting weights or the HIIT classes, or the other cardio, heavy classes and stuff, and they're like, ha ha ha, go to yoga. But the couple of times that some of them have gone, they're like, man, this is intense. And it is. And I love it so much. I like just the intensity of it, and then hot yoga, the heat, and then the relaxing, the coming down. But the point that I wanted to make today is just like, you see a yoga instructor or even just a regular trainer, a professional you've hired, whether it's an attorney or a doctor or a real estate agent or a mechanic or whoever, whatever the professional is you've hired, and you're like, wow, that's a lot for them to make per hour or per deal or whatever, and it makes you feel some sort of way. Step back and think about the time, effort, and energy of education, all the practice, the experience that they put, all the planning. Because just like this yoga instructor, she has to plan out her classes, and she has to tweak them a little bit each time, because she doesn't want her students to get bored, but she doesn't want to make a whole new experience to where they can't follow along. So it's little tweaks each week, and then time the music to flow with everything, figure out all the cues, because you're going to have everyone from beginners in there to intermediate to other pros in there. If you don't cue it properly and they can't see you, they're not doing the right thing, and someone could get hurt or confused or frustrated or whatever. Same thing with real estate. Like, you're not paying me or one of my experienced agents for their time. Like, it's not like, oh, you spent an hour with me today on the phone, and you spent 4 hours with me yesterday showing homes, and then you spent 20 minutes writing an offer and 20 minutes. You're paying for, this agent knows what area you should be in based upon the things that you're looking for. They know what houses are going to match your needs or not match your needs, what areas. They already know things to look out for. What's happening with insurance right now, flood insurance. They've had recent transactions, so they can say, like, this recently happened, this we came across. And so you're paying for all that experience. yeah, it's not that hard to go online and maybe find a house you're interested in. The hard part comes with knowing all of these details beforehand and then getting through the transaction, because then you have inspections and appraisals and title issues and all of these things that go along with it, and insurance, and just a slew of things that are going to come about, that you're going to want someone next to you that has that experience to help you, and it's worth the price. I'm not saying everyone's worth whatever price they're paying, but when you find someone that has that value that matches your needs, they are worth that price. Another thing real briefly that I want to mention is that a lot of times I see people that don't think others are worth the price or their value, don't value themselves, and are probably undervaluing themselves. So that's why they have this, idea and vision of what other people should do. And I want to ask you, why do you have that mindset? Is it because you truly don't have the experience or skills that equates to those higher value amounts? Or is it something inside of you that's fear-based that makes you think you're not good enough? And really be honest with yourself, because we all can do better. We all need to be improving ourselves and learning new things. Like, if you think that because you got your real estate license 30 years ago and you've never done any continuing education, that you know everything, come on, get over yourself. You don't know everything, because things are changing. If you go to a doctor who became a doctor 50 years ago and they never did anything new or educated themselves at all, do you really trust them to know what's best for you? Because you would want someone who is up on the newest technologies and the newest medical and the science and all of these things where they can actually help you. And you would want to make sure that if you're trying to go a more holistic route, for instance, that they understand that and they have the education and knowledge. So again, not everyone in every profession is equal. But be honest with yourself, whatever it is that you're doing, that you're trying to do, do you have the skills and experience and knowledge to help other people? And if so, then you are worth those prices and that value point. And if you want to continue to keep working, absolutely. One of my friends posted, Ashley, she posted yesterday on Facebook about faking it till you make it. And I don't believe in that at all. I've seen people, and it really kind of actually is not a trigger for me, but it irritates me, because I've had other agents literally copy and paste my pictures I've taken, my content I've created, and put it on their page. And they might generate some business off of that, but they're not me. And they're not the person that took that photo from that perspective. And they're not the person who wrote that article about this community themselves to share, or their knowledge of, different areas, different things to look out for. They're still not that person. It might propel them a little bit, but it's not authentic, and it's not going to help them be the best that they can be. Instead of trying to just copy someone, try to learn from someone, but still be yourself. One of my good friends, she's still a great photographer, but she was into it more a few years ago, used to say this, people would go to these photographer trainings and, these workshops, and just try to copy whoever was teaching. And yes, you can, and you can copy their style. You're still not going to nail it. You're still not going to be them. But what's more exciting is to create your own and make it your own with your authenticity. Then your value goes up exponentially, because the people that are attracted to that need that look, that service, that culture, that experience, that personality, whatever it is. You're the only one with that, with all of those things wrapped together. So it's so important to be your authentic self. Also, as you continue to grow in your business, your career, your life, whatever, that it is that you're looking to do. And one final thing, I know I've rambled on a lot. I'm coming on to 10 minutes. Try something new. Try to learn something new, because we get so stuck in what it is we know. We forget that there's always more to learn, and that other people where they are how much time, effort, and work it takes to get there, because maybe you started your career 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30 years ago, so you pretty much have it nailed down. You know what I mean? Like, you know what's going on a day-to-day basis, what you need to do. However, when you start something new, like I'm going to tell you, like I had just started the yoga teacher course, it's a lot. It's a lot of information. It's a lot of anatomy. It's a lot of Sanskrit. It's a lot of history. And then to go and actually develop a class and think about sequences and cues and music and, you know, putting it all together and not being nervous and, you know, all of this, it's a lot. And you look at the person doing it already and you think, they're really good at it, or it's easy, that I could do that. Yeah, go try to do that. Go try to do all the things. Start from the beginning and learn something new. And then that way you can have a better understanding of why someone has the value that they have, and then why you have the value that you have. So I hope you guys are having a beautiful Saturday. And again, sorry for rambling on for 11 minutes, but hopefully this resonates with you and you found some value in today's little Susan rant. Talk to you guys later. Bye.